A vote for Kathy is a vote for everyone, and I loved her stance on education. She agrees that we need to change up the curriculum, and she has to be one of the most genuine people that I have ever met. Her transparency is just living to the room.
Yeah, we're both 17, so we're still in high school, and like she said, her stance on education will change our lives forever, change all the upcoming kids, and also I think she lives the American dream. She came from nothing, and now she's running for congresswoman, and hopefully she does win. I think she will. But she's living the American dream. She genuinely cares about our well-being, wants us to be successful, wants us to be happy, and that's why we're voting for her. That's why we like Kathy.
She's so approachable.
Yeah, she's very kind, very down to earth, great woman.
Hi, my name is Ed Moy, and I'm here for Kathy Barnette. She is one of those wonderful persons that I've ever met. I met her at a gun law seminar. She's pro-Second Amendment. She's the first Black person to run for Congress in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. She is pro-life. She loves her community. She loves her family. She loves this nation. She loves the state of Pennsylvania. I don't see why we cannot vote her in the office. Go, Kathy.
Do you really think Representative Madeline Dean cares about dismantling privilege and classism in America today? I mean, we hear her talking about it all the time. We see her marching with Black Lives Matter and kneeling beside America KKK signs. But does she really care? Let me show you something. This is Madeline's neighborhood. It's quite peaceful here, and the homes are very beautiful. In fact, she is selling her home here for $1.5 million. And she owns a $1 million vacation home in Cape May. Now that's privilege. Follow me a little further. You see, in America, we do not guarantee outcomes, but we should make sure that those who find themselves marginalized, those who find themselves underneath a rock, as I once was, have access to opportunities that allows them to participate in the shared prosperity of this nation. You see, I was a little Black girl who grew up on a pig farm in southern Alabama. I grew up below the bottom rung of the economic ladder. I grew up in a home with no insulation, no running water, an outhouse in the back, and a well on the side. But because no one told me I was a victim, I became the first in my family to go and finish college. I spent 10 years in the U.S. Army Reserves. I was accepted into officer candidacy school, spent time in the financial industry, worked in corporate finance, worked as an adjunct professor of corporate finance. I speak to millions of people. I've authored my first book, and now I'm running for Congress. From a pig farm to Congress, only in America. There's nothing wrong with owning a $1 million home and a $1 million vacation home. But don't lecture me about fair wages when the Philadelphia Inquirer exposes your family business of participating in sweatshops in China, where employees were being paid from $1.49 an hour to $2.20 an hour. Don't talk to me about rich people paying their fair share in taxes when you, yes, you, Madeline Dean, have your millions in an offshore account in the British Islands. I'm sick of the manipulations. I'm sick of all of this division. I'm tired of the lies. I believe we can do better. On November 3rd, please vote for me. My name is Kathy Barnette, and I am running for Congress in the 4th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. My name is Kathy Barnette, and I approve this message.
everyone. How are you? Oh my goodness. Can you believe we are here? The last episode before the election. My team is like, yes. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe it. What a journey we've been on. This has been a journey. Thank you guys so much. How many people are out there already? Oh my goodness, you guys are coming in. Thank you so much. Share. Share this with everyone. Share it with just start sharing it, guys. This is the last one, right? So excited, so exhausted. I took like an hour nap, a little bit over an hour nap. I so needed it. I probably could have slept for, I don't know, another month, but this has been a ride. Thank you guys so much for being on this ride. Thank so many of you who knew nothing about me, which is the overwhelming majority. I was not in the political circles at all. Never attended any of the committee meetings, any kind of meeting. I don't even think I attended a school board meeting because, of course, I was homeschooling my kids. So I just was, I voted all the time, was always up on the issues, talked about the issues, was always up front talking and helping people understand the issues. But I was never interested in getting into politics, right? Because it's just dirty. Like, who wants to be involved in that? I like being happy. So never intended to do it. So the overwhelming majority of you knew nothing about me. And yet you took the time to research me. You took the time to come out and listen to me. You showed up whenever I was around. And to you, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. You guys have made this campaign viable. I knew from the very beginning I could not do this without you. I knew it, right? I always tell people I'm from a pig farm and I have a pig farm daughter's Rolodex, right? There's no one I can call who could write me a $5,000 check. I mean, I probably couldn't even get $20 out of my family. I don't think I have gotten anything out of my family. A lot of love, a lot of support, but, these are just the economic times in which we live in. And I do not I'm not a trust fund baby. So I knew that in order for me to do this, that I would need to be able to come in front of you, tell you who I am. And I believe that if you knew that you had a better option than the plastic politician we currently have in office, you would give me a chance. And so many of you did. So thank you very much. Now we're at the end. Oh my goodness. Someone said, what did you say, Andy? Oh, Jeff said, can't wait to vote for you on Tuesday. Thank you, Jeff. Oh my goodness. Andy said, I'll be stomping for you Tuesday. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, guys. So excited. I've been telling everyone, if it wasn't for my skin, I would be like little molecules floating all over the place. I'm so excited. I've been so humbled by this, that you guys would show so much love. And I was driving over here and I was like, this is politics and, it should just be about the numbers and the policies. But I love you guys. I love this district. I love my country. I've been saying that from the very beginning. I love my country. And specifically, I love this district. I mean, you guys are some of the best people that I've met along the way. And I am so grateful to each and every one of you. And I can't help but to think, this district is 80%. Nanette said, you have mine and my kids' votes. Thank you, Nanette, for raising awesome kids. I bet Nanette kids aren't out there creating havoc, flipping over tables, causing foolishness and mayhem on people. Thank you, Nanette. I appreciate you. But, I can't help but to just recognize the obvious, especially in the Black community, because y'all don't know the half of it. People spend a ton of money trying to convince Black folks that we are oppressed, that we are victims, that white people are the enemy, right? Unless, of course, they are white progressive, right? And then, so there's a ton of money that goes into the Black community specifically, that is always beating the drum. You're a victim. You're a victim. You're being victimized. People don't like you. People think you're inferior. I cannot begin to tell you the reality of that. And sometimes I don't think, those who aren't in the Black community fully understand how much money is being spent in making sure Black folks feel oppressed. Right? Even if they're even if they're the CEOs of company, right? They still walking around like, I'm oppressed. I'm oppressed. I can't be because somebody looked at me sideways. So I can't help but to just think about, my own journey. This district is 80% white. This district is the second wealthiest district in this, or the second wealthiest county in the state of Pennsylvania. So that means not only are you guys white, but y'all are, doing really well. Most of you are wealthy. The other portion is doing really, really well. So here we have rich white folks, and y'all have just embraced me. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think that that's the story. Right? That's the story that needs to be told. That's the story that when I go into predominantly Black and brown community, that's the story I'm telling them, is that stop believing the hype. Stop believing the advertising dollars and when they're spending it, right? And what they're putting on television all the time. This is the greatest country. Being in America, an American, period, you're privileged. But then also just being in this district, being in this county, I love you guys. I mean, I really do. Not rich, hey Frank, but still voting for you. I know, right? So it doesn't matter. Rich, not rich, white, not white. You guys are voting for me. Yesterday, let me tell you, I don't know if you have any photos from yesterday. The people up in Pottstown, Black folks up in Pottstown, they threw a pop-up block party for me. And it was so amazing. Let me tell you, we've been working so hard to get into, these predominantly Black communities. And, fortunately, I'm Black. So I was able to go around these Black gatekeepers who also profit. And, they profit a lot on keeping Black folks oppressed and acting like they're victims. I mean, honestly, guys, you have no idea the depth of the foolishness that's taking place in predominantly Black communities. I mean, I was thinking 56 years, Black folks have been voting Democrat. 56 years. So I was thinking a generation is every 20 years. So let's round up to 60. That means we have 3 generations of Black people who have been voting Democrat. And then if you add the generation that started under Lyndon B. Johnson, right? So now we're talking about 4 generations. So one generation that started on the whole, voting for Democrat, and then 3 generations after that, right? So your parent, here's the parents, so the children, the children. If we don't stop voting Democrat exclusively and get out of our emotions and start thinking about what people are actually saying, right? Get beyond the party affiliation, the Democrat, the Republican, get beyond that and begin to pay attention to what people have done and what they are going to do for you, specifically, not just with words, but where are their receipts? Where are their plans and strategies? If we don't stop, this is you guys right now living in predominantly Black neighborhoods, right? So you're the parent. If you don't wake up and pay attention, it's going to be your children. Another whole 3 generations living in some of the worst conditions. Again, think about it. We are living right now in the second wealthiest county in the state of Pennsylvania, and we got food deserts, y'all. We got medical deserts. COVID showed us that there are areas that are deprived of proper medical care, right? We are in this district, in this county, the second wealthiest in the state of Pennsylvania, we have areas that are 25 to 30% below the poverty level, right? Why are we not spreading the wealth and everyone having an opportunity to share in that wealth? Why is that? I'll tell you why. I believe because we have these plastic politicians who do not understand that nothing is black or white, either or, yes, no. There are nuances, and you have to have lived a life, have journeyed through, have been through some things in order to come to an issue and say, okay, well, let me look beyond the old solution of let's just throw more money, let's just raise tax dollars, and let's just throw more money at it. You have to have someone who themselves, like myself, I clawed my way from underneath the rock on a pig farm, y'all. And I got nothing against pig farm and pig farmers. I love it. I'm so grateful to my family. But I do not have on rose-colored glasses. That was hard living. But I was able to do that. And along that journey of moving into different circles and talking to different people and understanding being introduced to different perspectives, you learn some things. And one of the things you learn is that life is nuanced. I think the word nuance needs to be the word of the year, because people will have us living on one side or the other, pretending that there's nothing in between, right? That's not reality. But if you black folks and you brown people out there don't wake up and stop voting exclusively Democrat, y'all share this, take this little quote, okay? If you black people and you brown people don't begin to wake up, get out of your emotions and pay attention to what people are saying to you, then it's going to be you, your children, still living in this chaos and foolishness. It just makes absolutely no sense. It's actually a slap in your face. It's the most offensive thing when I walk into these various communities and I see the discrepancies. And then I walk in and you have these black gatekeepers. I got a list of names, y'all. So y'all come out hard. I will come out with your names, okay? That's what I do. I will put you on full blast. But I got the names of these black gatekeepers that we specifically went to, called and said, will you sit down and just have a conversation with me? I'm the first black person to ever run for Congress. They said, no, nope. One more, nothing to do with her. She's not a victim. She's not oppressed. She's talking about liberating people. She's talking about flipping over apple carts and sharing the wealth with everybody. We can't let them know that they don't need somebody to come, that black folks don't need another program. They don't want that. They want us sitting in our environment waiting for another program. Or even if you're not, poor, they eat. And even if I talk to Navy officers, intact family, homeowners doing very well who walk around talking about their victims. Now, does racism exist? Yes. Y'all have never heard me say it doesn't exist. I mean, you know where I come from. I've seen it all. I've seen a little bit of everything. I've been called the odious N-word, and it is hurtful. Oh, thank you, Albie. Go, Auntie Kathy. Thank you, Albie. I love you, Albie. Yes, the best nephew, hands down. I love my Albie and Bell Bear. So listen, Albie, you just lost my train of thought. Yeah, Biden moment. Diane said, knocking on doors daily for you. I love everything you stand for. Thank you, Diane. I love you. Walter, keep on fighting, lady. You're the best. Yes, I'm a fighter. And guess what, guys? I will be a fighter for you. You don't get from a pig farm to now being a candidate in Congress in an area where everyone told you don't have a snowball chance in Hades of penetrating this blue wall. You don't get to where we are right now, about to go into election day. We're winning. Yes, we are. You don't do that unless you're a fighter. We need fighters. You need a fighter. We got some real issues, not only domestically, not only in our own district, but internationally. We need people who have not been bought and paid for. My opponent my opponent has been bought and paid for. Almost $1 million of her campaign financing has come from 214 different PACs. 214 different PACs have bought and paid for my opponent. Now, fortunately, PACs don't vote, individuals do. So almost $1 million of my opponent's funding donations have come from PACs. She is bought and paid for. We have all kinds of organizations that are influencing the direction of this district, right? I want you to put those back up in a minute. I'll read them in a second. So we got all of that. Now, let's look at the converse of that. Me, less than 1% of my donations come from PACs. So 99% of my donations are our average donation, which is $55. So 99% of my donations come from people like you. So who owns me? Who am I? What's the word I'm looking for? Beholden to. Thank you. Who am I beholden to? You have outraised Dean if you remove PACs. Yes. Yes, I have outraised Dean if you remove PACs. 10% of her money comes from people. Less than 10%. Think about that. Less than 10% of her donations come from small donors, grassroots. The overwhelming majority of what I've done comes from you. You guys, put those quotes back up and I'll read them. Yeah. Comcast and Boeing managed to find $10,000 each to give to Mad Dean. So not a fan of them. I know. Right? And I'm not hating. I mean, had they sent me a check, I probably would have accepted it. But they nobody trying to come to me. They're not coming to me because my message is very simple. I want my nation to do well. And I love my nation and I want to see everyone do well. Vanguard, 8,500 to Mad Dean, not a fan. Maybe I'll switch to Robin Hood. I mean, listen. There's a reason, right? There's a reason why all this big money is coming in. And yet, in spite of all this big money, she hasn't raised that much more than us. We're almost at $1 million, y'all. Yeah. Oh my goodness. At the beginning of this, I was like, oh my gosh, if I can raise $500,000, if I can raise $250,000, I will be happy, right? And look at us. Divide $55 into almost $1 million. That's an army of people. Thank you guys so much. You have made this campaign viable. And I'm so very grateful for each and every one of you. What am I offering? What am I bringing to you? Am I bringing doom and harm? I'm not. I love my country. I want everyone to do well. I will be walking into various circles, flipping over apple carts to make sure everyone participates in the shared prosperity of this nation. How can you not like that? Actually, if you take that down and put the various endorsements. We've been endorsed by all kinds of people, and it's been so exciting. Again, you guys have made us viable. Let me see if I can see this. Can you make it bigger? Probably not. Jack Brewer, you guys love him. I know nothing about sports, but Philadelphia Eagles. So you guys know him. Y'all love him. Log Cabin Republican. That is the LGBTQ community has endorsed me. Think about that, right? Because for a lot of people, it's about the issues, right? The issues, you have to prioritize your life. And I'm so very grateful to them. We love Senator Doug Mastriano. Most of you know him. let me see, Americans for Hindus. In fact, 4 different Hindu organizations have endorsed us. I'm so excited for them. Yes, Gun Owners of America, because I believe in the Second Amendment. I believe the Second Amendment affords me it's a great equalizer for a woman who may run into someone bigger and stronger than her. It is the great equalizer when the mob comes and stands outside of your front door and require something of you. So I'm very, very grateful. Robert said, I'm a latecomer to your campaign. I'm relatively new to the region, a registered independent. I love independence, Roger. I think I saw your name on a yard sign and looked you up. I'm with you. Thank you, Robert. Thank you. I mean, you guys would never really know, because I know we've been so conditioned to think that, you know, if a politician is moving their lips, they're lying. But guess what? I'm not a politician. I'm not a politician from the DC swamp elk. That's not me. This time last year, I was sitting on the floor homeschooling my children with no thought of ever running for Congress. Was there anything else? Well, I mean, we have a ton of endorsements. Please go to my page at Kathy Barnette for Congress.com and take a look at all of those who have endorsed us. Just been so amazing. You guys have been so great. Okay, pivoting. Yes, Kathy Barnette for Congress.com /endorsement. Thank you so much. Okay. Let me see. What else do we want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? This is my last show before election day. So crazy. Before we win, this is our last day. My team I keep saying this is our last day, and my team's like, yeah, until after we win. Now, and it's so funny, because when you're running every day, we have been running. We started this thing off behind the 8 ball, right? I can't even begin to tell you how many people told us we have no chance. And they were very forthcoming. Don't work that hard. Don't do too much. You really have no chance. No one, of the political elk around here was trying to give us money, because why? That's you're like a losing cause. Of course, most of them have come on board now. But initially, they're like, no, that's just throwing good money after bad, right? And so when we first started this, no one had didn't give us any real hope. So, but we've been running. And now we find ourselves right here in this moment. And so when you're running all the time, you're always thinking, 2 weeks in advance, a month in advance. Okay, what are we doing? What do we need to do? Where do we need to go? Who have we not talked to? How do we get into those circles? Who do we know over there in this circle? I mean, it's just we've been running. When I say running, I mean running. We've been running from mid-January to now. And so to sit here and say, oh, what am I doing 2 weeks from now? It's not going to be what I'm doing today. We're getting ready to flip the page into a whole new chapter. Think about that. One way or the other, our nation is about to flip a page. The Democrat Party has been very forthcoming. The mask has been removed. If we didn't know who they were or what they were gunning for, we know today. I don't even think it's socialism anymore. It looks very much like communism. It looks very much like Marxism. It's just very unnerving, right? Pull up those pictures. The guy with the dolly. That's just crazy. Carice! Hey, Carice, how are you? Oh my goodness, he is just amazing. This is just another person that we brought onto the team. I'm so excited. Nope, the picture with the guy on the dolly in the washing machine. Oh, there it is. Look, there he is. What did that have to do with the Black community? What I have to do? That's actually embarrassing. That's actually embarrassing. And this is what media, CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, this is what they showed over and over and over and over again. This has nothing to do with spreading real opportunities into the Black community. Nothing whatsoever. But I believe it is very indicative of what primarily white progressive liberals are doing. They're using the color of my skin and the history of our nation to get power and control. How many people have come out and said, this is just wrong? How many? Not many. You know why? Folks are scared. Oh, I don't want to be called a racist. Oh, they may, I may get canceled. Oh, I may lose my job. Oh, my friends may look at me differently. I mean, I've even seen people out here on social media try to shame people who say this particular image is wrong. What kind of culture are we living in? What kind of culture are we living in when you cannot look at something and clearly say, this is wrong? And let me tell you, for any of y'all who say, it's poverty and lack of opportunities, I grew up underneath a rock. Look at his clothing. He looks well kept. I would have loved having, some nice clothing like that. Look, I mean, he looks well kept, got a backpack and all. I grew up underneath a rock. I grew up in a home with no insulation. I bet his home has insulation. I grew up in a home with no running water. We had an outhouse in the back and a well on the side. Do y'all know anybody who's that poor? If y'all know somebody who's that poor, please type their name in there so I can just, I don't know, kumbaya with them. I just want to kumbaya with them and hug them and say, life will get better. How can I help you, right? But all of y'all who talking about poor people this, poor people that, I'm looking around like, I have yet to meet somebody who was poorer than me. I do. And let me tell you, I would have never done that. I would have never. Okay, take the picture down now. You're just going on and on. Oh, we're just looping it. Listen, I would have never done that. I would have never done that. Just because you're poor doesn't mean you got to go out here stealing. If you're poor, what I need is an opportunity. What I needed to get me off that pig farm was education. Look at this foolishness. Look at that. What do I have to do with being poor? It's just chaos. And ain't nobody saying nothing. That's the thing that should make all of y'all nervous right about now. Is how the Democratic Party is using the color of my, look at Five Below, y'all, $5 and below, really? Oh my goodness, I saw someone out there stealing from Dollar Tree. Really, y'all? Really? Dollar Tree? These are opportunists. That's what we're dealing with right now. Any comments? Put them up there. These are opportunists right now. Is what we're dealing with. And this should make everyone feel unnerved that we have people out here robbing, stealing, looting, intimidating, people about to get in fights, right? And they're stealing. And no one is saying anything. I grew up poor. You can't tell me that this is what poor people do. Poor does not equal theft. I know. Oops. I forgot. Poor does not equal theft. What I needed when I was poor was an education. What I needed when I was poor was opportunity. Look, Family Dollar, really, y'all. What I needed was education, opportunity, job, any job. I just needed a job. I did. I remember scraping up 35 cents to buy a bag of chips, and that was my dinner. I never forget. When I say that, there's a memory that's attached to it for me. And it's a very emotional memory because I was so low. But it never crossed my mind to go and steal the bag of chips. I searched high and low for that 35 cents. Yeah, I know. Can you believe it? Chips used to cost 35 cents. I know, look, stuff being set on fire. But according to Democrats, this is peaceful. Now, let me tell you what's not going to come into these communities. Opportunities, businesses. Any one of you with a sound mind. Wait, they call it peaceful protest. No, Paul, it's not. Right? all of you with an ounce of common sense, would you take your hard-earned capital and invest something into that particular community, which is perhaps predominantly Black and Hispanic? Would you? If you have any sense, the answer would be no. Colin Powell said, oh, I always mess up his quote, but he said, capital is a coward. It only goes where it feels safe. Capital meaning money. Money is a coward. Money, capital, investments do not go into communities where it doesn't feel safe. And so now these particular people and this particular community, they're going to be screaming and yelling about disparity and why their buildings are all boarded up for their generation, but then for their children's generation. Because that's how long Black folks have been voting Democrats. I was thinking about that the other day. 56 years we've been voting Democrat, very loyal to the Democrat Party. If you round up to 60, that's a generation is every 20 years. I'm just repeating myself for those who came on a little bit late. Every generation is 20 years equals a generation. So 20 years into 60, that's 3 generations, right? So that's your mama, so that's your parent, your children, and your children's children, right? So in the Black community, we've been voting for almost 60 years for Democrat, right? In these neighborhoods, predominantly, in Black neighborhoods. And so you start off with the parent. Their children have lived in that exact same situation. And if we don't wake up, you're the parent, it's going to be your children, your daughter, her daughter, and her daughter's daughter. It's going to be living in this exact same situation. That's how it works, people. I've always said, change how you vote, you begin to change your atmosphere. It's amazing how that works. You begin to make people think that they got to actually come out and earn your vote. Boom, things happen. Streets get fixed. School situations get fixed. Jobs start coming in. People start actually fighting for your community. They actually start fighting to put stuff into your community. But this right here, I don't care, Black, white, or indifferent. Y'all need to wake up. If you're voting for the Democrat Party right now because you hate Donald Trump, you really need to read some books. You really need to start walking outside of your bubble and start having conversations. You need to start having conversations with people who may not think like you, who may not look like you, who may not live your life that you've been living. Go and have conversation. That is how I find myself in this seat today, is because I am okay with walking out and having conversations. Do we have any questions or thoughts? Jill says, 56 years voting Democrat. Why isn't the generation of Black American neighborhoods rocking it? Exactly. And if you're not concerned, if you're not aware, it's going to be another 3 generations. Your children will be right in this spot, having this same conversation. Do you think our generation is the first generation to be talking about food deserts? Maybe we term the coin food deserts, but do you think like we created all that we're just waking up to this? No, your parents were talking about this, and their parents were talking about this. That's just how it works. So guys, here we are. Dean's response. Yes, let's look at Dean's response. Can we get that big? Can we blow it up? So this is Dean's response. A mental health crisis should not be a death sentence. And yet, yesterday, I watched a graphic video of the killing of Walter Wallace Jr. A family's call for help should never end this way. Let me just stop right there, okay? Because see, what my opponent is doing, she's taking out a violin and she's playing the violin right now. Put my video up so they can see me. What they're doing, what my opponent just did in that opening statement, taking out a violin and she's playing that violin. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Oh, this is so sad. This should never happen, right? Okay. mental health is a crisis. And I am becoming acutely aware, specifically in minority communities. And there's a reason for that, I think. I think it's deeper than what I'm about to say. But I've gone through some layers in getting to where I find myself today. And so I can always look back at how I grew up as a child. I can look at where the majority of my family still live, how they still live. And I can look at, my circles today. And one of the things that popped to mind is that the level of foolishness that I was exposed to and had to endure in my communities today where I live, children are not exposed to that, right? My children certainly aren't. And so, I often say for some Black people to wake up, and just to make it through the day, that takes a tremendous amount of effort just to wake up and show up each day. And there's a reason. Think about if you're ducking and dodging bullets and ducking and dodging the police and ducking and dodging the mayhem, the foolishness, the chaos, you're going to come. If you don't have a mental health crisis issue, you're one of the lucky ones, right? And so you can't just say, as my opponent has said many times and the Democrat Party has said many times, well, what we need is when the police show up, we have social workers and mental health care workers along with them. Let me just throw out, it may be a little too late at that point. Perhaps we need to, again, this is where being able to have a nuanced conversation comes into the equation, having a nuanced conversation, right? Because they say, oh, what we need is to have defund the police, make sure we have social workers and healthcare mental health care professionals on the street at the time. I'm not completely opposed to that. But by that time, when someone is wielding a knife or chasing after a police officer with a knife or a gun, it's probably a little too late, right? Maybe there are some times before we get to that where this person could be caught, right? Where we could have a net, right? Maybe it starts at the 3rd grade. Did y'all know in this district, by the time a Black and Hispanic child get into the 3rd grade in almost every area, even in the wealthy areas around here, so it's not about money. By the time they get into the 3rd grade, you begin to see an academic performance disparity that takes place in that child's life, one that never corrects itself. And so those particular kids are going to be at a disadvantage, right? From 3rd grade on is where they begin to see that disparity that takes place. Now, add on to that COVID and how these kids are now being, schooled virtually. So what was by the 3rd grade, you begin to see this disparity. Now it's like this, right? They're going to be at an even greater disadvantage. Is there something we can do? This is where nuance comes in, right? Having a nuanced conversation, having lived through some things to recognize that by the time we get to the street where this young man is now wielding a knife and running at folks, right? Not obeying a lawful command, maybe that's a little too late. Maybe we don't want to wait at that point. Maybe there are some other things we need to be focused on. I don't believe that it's always a welfare program. Go back to my opponent statement. Walter's life matter. Can you make it bigger? I'm going to just drop down. Let me be clear, because here's where the mud comes in. Nothing is going to be clear. I condemn all violence. Okay, so what is she saying? You cannot talk out of both sides of your mouth on these issues, including any violence that followed this tragic incident. And I wish all police officers and others injured during any violent demonstration. Take it down. This is just crazy. I'm not answering that question. This is just crazy. There are things we can do. Looters and rioters are not peaceful protesters. Looters and rioters are not peaceful protesters. When someone loses their life, we need to go in, put a spotlight on that, focus on it. And if there's any kind of rot racism or just, bad policies. We need to go in like a surgeon with a scalpel and cut that rot out, right? We do not adjudicate our issues on the street. Whenever someone gets shot or killed, the response cannot be, oh, let me pull out my Christmas list. Oh, let me put out my Thanksgiving list. Oh, my anniversary is coming up. Let me see what we need to get. That can't be the solution. And we cannot allow this to be condoned. I mean, the scariest thing is that these same rioters and looters are going to be voting on Tuesday. That's the foolishness. Any other questions or thoughts out there? Wow, you guys are sticking with me. I appreciate you. Yeah, you guys got to be paying attention. Get the questions up. Okay. Guys, I appreciate you. And now we're coming to a close. I thoroughly appreciate this entire process, how you have stayed with me the entire time. If you guys have any, what does Nanette say again? I know. Thank you so much. Just put them up there so people can see. If there are any questions, peaceful protesters sing, peaceful protesters smile, peaceful protesters hold hands. It does not involve weapons, mace, weapons, arson, or violence. I agree. Anything other than on the peaceful protesters. Yeah, guys. So taught 30 years, virtual provides you a virtual education and virtual knowledge. And I homeschooled my kids for 6 years, and a very small portion of their education was virtual. It just doesn't work. It's not the best. Students don't learn as well virtually as they do in person. It's a fact. It's a fact. And I think it's a fact that we're about to all become too acquainted with as we see what happens when we come out of this cloud that we currently find ourselves in. Okay, so here we go. What do we need? That's okay. What do we need? We need Tuesday. Let's put our focus on that. I can't even believe it. We're down to hours now. Less than 48 hours. Can you believe that? We still need poll watchers. We still need ambassadors, people who will go outside, who will stand outside of the polling place and tell people, vote for Kathy, consider her, give me a chance. That's all I've ever asked, is for you to give me a chance. You can go to kathybarnette4congress.com/elections. We still have some places we need to make sure that we have covered, and that you guys can go in there and just watch some ambassadors. So go out again to kathybarnette4congress.com/election and sign up. We will get in touch with you and get you ready. Less than 48 hours. Oh my goodness. It has been a journey. It has been a ride. I don't know. Would I do this again? Someone asked me, listen, this is not for the weak of heart at all. You have to have a very strong constitution. You have to be very focused. Because people are coming at me from all sides, never talk to me, don't know anything about me. People, oh my goodness, people have been sending me their photos. My yard signs are coming up missing. People are going through neighborhoods, taking down yard signs. Make sure you contact us if you have lost your yard, if someone has stolen your yard sign or destroyed, defaced your yard sign. We'll get you another one, right? Get another one, get it back up there, because yard signs matter. People, I mean, believe it or not, there are some who are still somewhat oblivious about what's going on around them. And so they are not paying very close attention. And so yard signs matter, because when the light bulb does come on, then they say, well, who's running? My yard sign is right there, and they Google me. I've always believed that if I can get in front of people, they would see that they have a better option. I want to thank Mike Huckabee, Governor Mike Huckabee, for endorsing our campaign. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I got that yesterday in the mail. I am so very grateful to Governor Mike Huckabee for your endorsement. Well, I mean, a very sound man and sound principles. And so I'm very grateful to him. Anything else we want to do before I close out? Oh my goodness! Here we go! Woo! Yes, we did it! I'm so excited. We did it. We did it. No one can discredit what we've done. Win, lose, draw. We did this. We did this. The people. No one bought the Republican Party, the establishment did not give us anything money-wise. They've been very kind, very nice, very polite, but no one gave us anything, right? No one pointed me in the right direction. Oh, make sure you talk to these people. Make sure you go over here and talk to these people. Oh, let me host some meetings so you can meet people and get out here. The establishment did not do this. You guys did. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Facts. I know, right, Carice? Fact. No one built a yellow brick wall. A yellow brick wall. A yellow brick road. No one built a yellow brick road and grabbed me by my hand and kind of skipped with me down this yellow brick road. No one did that. They're laughing at me. You guys did this. You guys did this. Thank you so much. I mean, I could not be here without you. So many of you say, Kathy, thank you for your courage. Listen, this just feels like Sunday. This just feels like, Sunday to me, right? Our nation is in trouble. Our nation is in trouble. And we can do better. We can do better than someone who is bought and paid for. Someone who has been running a campaign relying on the numbers. There is a differential in the number of registered Democrats and Republicans. And that is how she has ran her campaign. She hasn't come to talk to anyone who doesn't think like her. She hasn't come and sat down with anyone who doesn't think like her. She doesn't care. If you don't think like her, she ain't caring about you right about now, okay? And so, which makes it very difficult, because in order to really move our nation forward, we need to be able to sit down with people who don't necessarily think like us and be willing to find a compromise. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to get happy. I'm ready to get happy. I am tired of people constantly telling me, even before COVID, that we need to be angry. We need to be mad, right? I mean, she even goes by the nickname Mad. I'm tired of being mad. Aren't y'all tired of mad? It's time to get happy. I'm tired of mad. Make that into a graphic. I'm tired of being mad. I'm ready to get happy. Okay? Let's get happy together. And let's start flipping over tables and sharing the wealth with everyone. It's time for all of us to do well. I am bringing to you access. Access. That's what I'm bringing to you. I don't care what your color is. I don't care what your journey is. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care. Are you an American? Then I want to see you do well. I am bringing access. I am your best chance at ever. I say it all the time. I am your best chance. You won't get this chance again. This district isn't going to crop up another one of me. And it's not because I'm so fabulous, but I have lived a life. I have been into some rooms. I have seen some struggles, and I know what it is that we need. I have a plan, and I have nothing but the best intention. From the very beginning of this, someone asked me a long time, not too long ago, what was one of my fears when I started this journey? Never intended to run for Congress. And one of my fears was that I did not want to compromise who I am. And guys, I'm at the end of this, and I can tell you, I have not compromised who I am. I am still the same little Kathy Jean who started this whole process out. I am still filled of hope. I still see this land filled with opportunities. I'm a lover of people. I want to see everyone do well. I don't care who you are, what your story is, what your life is. I want to see you do well. And that has all the people, right? I want to see everyone do well. And I don't want to cripple some in order to make others feel better about themselves. I'm not running around here trying to scratch people's itches. I am ready to work for you. And thank each and every one of you for allowing me to be here and to do this. Let's go get happy. Let's stop being mad. Next gathering is the victory party. I know, Lisa. Woo! See you in DC. I know. Oh my God. Love you and thank you. I thank you guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for all the hard work you put into the fight to represent us. Yes, it has not been easy. No. Smart. Yeah, I'm smart. Persistent. Yes. You did it. No, we did it. We love you. Thank you so much. Thank you for working. You're the best, Kathy. Winning bigly. Bill, you're funny. Thank you for taking this role on. You rock. You guys rock as well. I know, right? Let's just go out reading. Let's just go out reading. Girl, you're rocking the motivational messaging. Yes. Listen, it's only one way to be. I can't operate under a cloud of being mad, walking into every room mad. I don't want to be mad. I want to be happy, right? I look for the silver lining. I do. I am the glass half full kind of person. That's who I am. Yeah. I lived through some stuff. I tell people that you are salt and light. Yes. And you guys have allowed me to get that message out like none other. Montgomery County voter momentum is on your side. It is. We just got to make sure they don't steal it. So pray. If y'all fast, pray and fast. Okay. Pray and fast and speed dial people. Start calling everyone. Tomorrow, Monday, we need folks to show up in our offices. We have 3 offices because we're going to be doing phone banking. I love that you took it out. I love that you are so down to earth and approachable. No other way to be. Oh, I know. I cannot pronounce. I'm going to mess up your name, but I met you. You are so, you too. What? Trifina? I know. I may have messed that up. Thank you so much. I'm sorry? Trifina. I met you and your children. You are such an inspiration as well. We are fighters. So one fighter recognizes another fighter. So we're going to do well. We're going to come out on the other side. No stealing in my polling station or Norristown. Okay, Jill, that's what I'm talking about. You're my neighbor and I trust in you and the Lord will guide you to victory. Bobby Cash, come on over to my house. Just knock on the door. You're my neighbor. Come to my house. Let's introduce, because even after this, we're going to be flipping the script, flipping the page into another chapter. Okay. Oh my goodness. I should have had y'all with my music. Minio. If you don't like me, that's you got it. There's some folks who don't like me. I want you to. I want you to like me. Maybe do another one. Ivy, me and my family love and support you to the fullest. Ivy, I love your fiance and your babies. You are the best, Ivy. Thank you so much. And guys, go pick up his new CD, Ivy Bandana. No, it's not Ivan B. Bandana. It's Ivy Bandana. Go out there. I think it's on Amazon. Go out there, get his latest record. Oh my goodness, y'all should have had the music ready. Any of them, Stand Up, Take My People With Me, just play it, okay? That's from the Harriet Tubman. All of y'all go YouTube it, Harriet Tubman, Stand Up. Play that a couple of times tonight so y'all can see what I'm feeling right about now. We're about to take our nation back. We're about to take our nation back, and it starts with this seat. It starts in less than 48 hours. Remember, I told y'all need to be as exhausted as I am by the end of all of this. I don't think we have it. Do we have it? Harriet Tubman, Stand Up. It's so simple. YouTube it. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe we are here. I'm just trying to read you guys' comments real quick. Some of you guys have just been, Carice, what you laughing at? I said IVB Bandana. Here it is, guys. Here's my song. Here's my anthem. Peace. Deuces. See y'all on the other side. Turn it up. Can I hear it?
Easy now.
I'm gonna be free on God. I've been walking with my face turned to the sun. weight on my shoulders, a bullet in my gun. Oh, I got eyes in the back of my head, just in case I have to run. I do what I can when I can, while I can for my people. While the clouds roll back and the stars fill the night, that's when I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones.
You have made it 100 miles to freedom. Would you like to pick a new name to mark your freedom?
Keratin.
Early in the morning, before the sun begins to shine, we're gonna start moving towards that separating line. I'm wading through muddy waters. You know I got a made up mind, and I don't mind if I lose any blood on the way to salvation. And I'll fight with the strength that I got until I die. So I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on.
Harriet, welcome to the Underground Railroad.
And I know what's around the bend might be hard to face 'cause I'm alone, and I just might fail, but Lord knows I'll try. Just as we stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Can you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. Do you hear freedom calling, calling me to answer? Gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna stand up, take my people with me. Together we are going to a brand new home, far across the river. I hear freedom calling, calling me to answer. Gonna keep on keeping on. I can feel it in my bones. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you. I go to prepare a place for you.
Do you really think Representative Madeline Dean cares about dismantling privilege and classism in America today? I mean, we hear her talking about it all the time. We see her marching with Black Lives Matter and kneeling beside America KKK signs. But does she really care? Let me show you something. This is Madeline's neighborhood. It's quite peaceful here, and the homes are very beautiful. In fact, She is selling her home here for $1.5 million. And she owns a $1 million vacation home in Cape May. Now that's privilege. Follow me a little further. You see, in America, we do not guarantee outcomes, but we should make sure that those who find themselves marginalized, those who find themselves underneath a rock, as I once was, have access to opportunities that allows them to participate in the shared prosperity of this nation. You see, I was a little Black girl who grew up on a pig farm in southern Alabama. I grew up below the bottom rung of the economic ladder. I grew up in a home with no insulation, no running water, an outhouse in the back, and a well on the side. But because no one told me I was a victim, I became the first in my family to go and finish college. I spent 10 years in the U.S. Army Reserves. I was accepted into officer candidacy school, spent time in the financial industry, worked in corporate finance, worked as an adjunct professor of corporate finance. I speak to millions of people. I've authored my first book, and now I'm running for Congress. From a pig farm to Congress, only in America. There's nothing wrong with owning a $1 million home and a $1 million vacation home. But don't lecture me about fair wages when the Philadelphia Inquirer exposes your family business of participating in sweatshops in China, where employees were being paid from $1.49 an hour to $2.20 an hour. Don't talk to me about rich people paying their fair share in taxes when you, yes, you, Madeline Dean, have your millions in an offshore account in the British Islands. I'm sick of the manipulations. I'm sick of all of this division. I'm tired of the lies. I believe we can do better. On November 3rd, please vote for me. My name is Kathy Barnette, and I am running for Congress in the 4th Congressional District of Pennsylvania. My name is Kathy Barnette, and